When Demolition Man premiered in 1993, critics dismissed it as another mindless Sylvester Stallone vehicle, a fish-out-of-water action romp with some futuristic window dressing. But 3 decades later, the film reveals itself as one of cinema's most accidentally prescient dystopian visions. Director Marco Brambilla created a world that initially appears utopian. A sanitized, crime-free Los Angeles renamed San Angeles, where violence, salt, and spicy food have been outlawed. Yet this surface perfection masks a terrifying reality of social control and infantized citizens. The film's genius lies in presenting this dystopia as desirable to its inhabitants, who willingly trade freedom for safety and comfort. Through this lens, Demolition Man becomes less about Stallone's muscles and more about the fundamental tension between individual liberty and collective security. The film's protagonist, John Spartan, represents everything the future has eliminated: aggression, instinct, and authentic human emotion. Cryogenically frozen for a crime he didn't commit, Spartan awakens in 2032 to find himself obsolete in a world that has pathologized his very nature. His journey isn't just about clearing his name, but about rediscovering what makes us human in the first place. Stallone's performance, often criticized as wooden, actually serves the character perfectly. Spartan is literally a relic, uncomfortable in his own skin in this new world. His partnership with Lenina Huxley, played by Sandra Bullock, creates the film's moral center as she represents the curiosity and rebellion that the system cannot completely extinguish. Their dynamic explores whether humanity can be preserved when all its rough edges have been sanded away. Wesley Snipes' Simon Phoenix emerges as one of cinema's most fascinating villains precisely because he's not wrong about the society he's terrorizing. A hyper-intelligent psychopath cryogenically frozen alongside Spartan, Phoenix recognizes the San Angeles utopia for what it is: a gilded cage where citizens have been reduced to docile consumers. His violent rebellion, while monstrous, serves as a necessary disruption to the stagnant order. Phoenix understands that true freedom requires the capacity for danger and transgression, qualities the future has systematically eliminated. In many ways, he and Spartan are two sides of the same coin. Both represent authentic, unfiltered humanity in a world of simulations. Their final confrontation becomes less about good versus evil and more about competing visions of what it means to be truly alive. San Angeles itself functions as the film's most compelling character, a meticulously designed critique of political correctness taken to absurd extremes. The city's ban on physical contact, swearing, and even spicy food creates a society where risk has been eliminated, but so has vitality. The infamous 3 seashells bathroom system represents how even basic human functions have been mystified and controlled. This world building extends to economics through the Taco Bell monopoly joke that predicted corporate consolidation, and to social engineering through the mandatory verbal morality statutes that police language. What makes San Angeles terrifying isn't its technology, but its psychology. Citizens have internalized their oppression, believing their constrained lives represent progress. The film asks whether safety is worth the price of our humanity. Dr. Raymond Cocteau, the architect of this new society, presents the most chilling vision of all, the benevolent dictator. As played by Nigel Hawthorne, Cocteau genuinely believes he's saving humanity from itself, having engineered a world free from the pain and chaos of the 20th century. His philosophy represents utopian idealism divorced from human nature, the belief that with enough control and conditioning, we can perfect society. Cocteau's system eliminates crime not by addressing its causes, but by eliminating the human impulses that might lead to transgression. His relationship with Edgar Friendly, leader of the underground Scraps, creates the film's central ideological conflict: ordered perfection versus messy freedom. Kotow's eventual downfall demonstrates the film's thesis: any system that denies fundamental human nature is ultimately unsustainable. The underground Scraps community represents the film's alternative vision of humanity: flawed, authentic, and free. Living in the ruins of old Los Angeles, these outcasts preserve everything San Angeles has eliminated: meat, salt, physical contact, and genuine emotion. Edgar Friendly, played by Dennis Leary, serves as the film's ideological mouthpiece, delivering blistering critiques of the surface world's sanitized existence. His famous rant about the right to be greasy and gross articulates the film's defense of human imperfection. The Scraps aren't presented as ideal. The per-world is dirty and dangerous, but they retain their humanity in ways the surface dwellers have not. This dichotomy creates the film's moral framework between safety without freedom and freedom without safety. The film clearly argues for the latter as the more authentically human choice. The film's technological predictions range from amusingly inaccurate to frighteningly prescient. While we don't have cryogenic prisons or 3 seashells, we do live in a world of sanitized communication, trigger warnings, and social credit systems that echo San Angeles' verbal morality statutes. The film anticipated our current debates about cancel culture, safe spaces, and the policing of language decades before these terms entered mainstream discourse. Even the Taco Bell joke has proven prophetic in our era of corporate consolidation and fast food monopolies. More profoundly, the film predicted how technology would be used, not for liberation, but for social control, from surveillance systems to behavior modification. In an age of algorithmic curation and digital echo chambers, Demolition Man feels less like science fiction and more like social commentary on our increasingly controlled existence. The relationship between John Spartan and Lenina Huxley provides the film's emotional through line and its argument for balanced humanity. Huxley begins as the perfect product of her society, enthusiastic, rule-abiding, and naive about the world's complexities. Her fascination with Spartan represents the part of her that recognizes something missing in her sanitized existence. Their evolving dynamic demonstrates that true humanity exists in the tension between Spartan's raw instinct and Huxley's cultivated restraint. Their romance, while underdeveloped, symbolizes the integration of these opposing qualities. When Huxley finally swears at the film's climax, it represents her reclamation of authentic emotion. Their partnership suggests the film's ideal, not a return to Spartan's violent past or acceptance of Huxley's constrained present, but a synthesis that embraces both safety and freedom, order and spontaneity. The film's climax and resolution reinforce its central themes through action rather than dialogue. The final confrontation between Spartan, Phoenix, and Cocteau's system isn't just about stopping a villain, but about choosing what kind of world will emerge. Spartan's decision to spare Cocteau, rejecting both the villain's chaos and the dictator's control, represents a third way. The destruction of the cryo prison symbolizes the end of forced perfection and the acceptance of human fallibility. The surface dwellers and Scraps coming together suggest the possibility of integration rather than domination. Even the film's final joke about Taco Bell winning the franchise wars maintains the balance between critique and hope. The ending doesn't promise utopia, but suggests that a messy, imperfect society that embraces its full humanity is preferable to any sanitized alternative. 3 decades after its release, Demolition Man has evolved from campy action flick to a central cultural critique. Its predictions about corporate consolidation, language policing, and social control have proven remarkably accurate, making it required viewing for understanding our current moment. The film's enduring relevance lies in its fundamental question: how much freedom are we willing to sacrifice for safety and comfort? In an age of increasing surveillance, algorithmic curation, and social engineering, San Angeles feels less like fiction and more like warning. The film argues that humanity's essence lies in its imperfections, our capacity for risk, passion, and even transgression. By celebrating the greasy and gross aspects of existence, Demolition Man remains a vital defense of authentic humanity against the seductive dangers of perfected control.